humans and future AI overlords. I'm here to talk about a day in the future, living with advanced AI in 2035, exploring daily life with integrated AI technologies. I've been thinking about the past, 2.25 years since ChatGPT came out, and thinking about what's the future going to be like. We're in our infancy with AI. What's that going to look like? So I basically talked to Gemini and Copilot and ChatGPT, and then talked to each of them again, and then integrated their conversations and came up with this concept of the future. Now, it is not high techy. It's more conceptual. And that's kind of cool, because I'm just trying to think about how are things going to shift? Not specifically what that's going to look like. So much of the content that I have, kind of thought about the future is all science fiction. And we definitely got to remember there's a difference between science and science fiction. Now, science fiction and science are both inspired by each other, and people that love both of those things, merge those things in interesting and cool ways. It's amazing. But anyway, so just to set expectations, this is just sort of a chat with various AI tools, thinking about what the future would look like in 10 years. So I don't know how accurate this will be. I don't think how accurate it'll be in a year. It's amazing how far we've come in such a short time with the advancements in AI. So, it's likely going to just surpass this and, very quickly. So anyway, but I'm just thinking. So basically, I wanted to talk about what a day in the future could look like. So we're going to cover kind of a morning routine with AI, commute and work, afternoon activities, evening leisure and home management, and nighttime and sleep. So I thought it was interesting how it was grouped in that perspective. And a lot of the AI discussions were giving, sort of like time of day, like snapshots. It's 6 a.m. this, 7 a.m. this, 9 a.m. this. It was very interesting. So the data behind it I thought was actually kind of clever. In the way they broke it out. So we'll start with the morning routine with AI. And so 7 a.m., an AI-assisted wake up and health monitoring. So an AI system can analyze your sleep cycles and wake you up at the best time for a refreshing start to your day. Now that's interesting because, my wake up is based on the clock. It's based on what I've got to do the next day and what my plans are. So, typically following a set time based on, what I'm doing the next day. So it's not as flexible. And I've found that really interesting. If these systems are going to monitor your health and they want to optimize your sleep cycle to wake you at the best time so you actually have a good sleep, does that mean it could let you sleep? I wouldn't think it would let you sleep past a meeting, but it's sort of one of those things like going, oh, okay, it's got to decide, yep, he's got a meeting he's got to get to, or should I reschedule that meeting because he needs the sleep? And who makes that choice, Maybe there is some health issue, narcolepsy or whatever, going on that could be impacted. So anyway, I found it really interesting. So optimal wake time. A simple concept, but kind of interesting when you think about it being controlled by an AI. If the goal is that you get good sleep so you can have a good day, that sounds fantastic. But, I think this is one of those sort of environments where you've got to be all in order to do this. You can't be 1 foot in the AI assisted world and 1 foot out. You can, but it feels like, this future utopia is very much an AI controlled. And then at what point are we just automatons for an AI going through life? Anyway, it's very interesting. A simple wake-up call has led to a whole kerfluffle of thoughts. But I like, we're already using AI-based systems with alarm clocks and things like that. And, opening up our shades on our window, turning lights on, they've got those, those lights that that mimic the sun and turn on in a way that feels more not like a jarring, blare of buzz or music or whatever. So it's kind of interesting. But okay, so this vital signs monitoring, the AI monitors your vital signs, providing real-time health data and insights to enhance your morning routine. So for me, you get your vital signs taken at the doctor. You get your vital signs taken when you put on your smartwatch, because it can do a lot of health-related activities. It monitors your physical fitness and things like that, different activities. They monitor your sleep. They've got like sleep apnea detection. There's so many incredible capabilities in health monitoring through wearing a watch or a ring, or there's devices you can put under your mattress and things like that. You can have a Google Home near your near where you sleep. It can detect your sleep and rise, and and it can, it's kind of crazy the amount of monitoring that can go on while you sleep. And in that we sleep a lot, it's a big chunk of time that could be monitored. So I think it's really interesting, the idea that that your sleep cycle is, it's our recovery time, it's our restful time, dream time. It's important for the body and mind. Can we get better sleep, and can AI help us with that? I think it's pretty likely, as it gets more intelligent, and addresses everyone's unique characteristics and way of living. I think that's the really interesting thing, is all of us have such unique experiences. And maybe to an AI that's analyzing billions of people, we're not that unique. But coming down to the person level, it feels unique. At an aggregate, anything can be not unique. But anyway, so I find that interesting. And then a positive start to your day with health insights from your AI. You can start your day on a positive note, feeling energized and informed. So the idea that when you wake up, you've got this information about your sleep, maybe some information about your day, important things to kind of get your day started. So while you're brushing your teeth, you're watching a video feed in your mirror, or you've got some alerts, speaking to you. Your AI is kind of informing you of maybe some important, information. But yeah, so it's interesting, a positive start your day with health insights from AI, and also giving you a good sleep, and then informing you of things to get your day started. Because that's always one of those things. Like I remember, like the night before, it's like, oh God, what's tomorrow? Check your calendar. What's going on? What's happening? What I have to do? And I've been trying to do more of that at the end of my day, so I'm not doing it late in the evening and jarring my cycle. But it's an interesting thought about just preparing for the day and onboarding, and reminding you of things from yesterday that you'll be doing this day. So then 7:30, personalized breakfast recommendations and preparation. So analyzing your nutrition, your individual nutrition needs and personal preferences to provide a tailored breakfast recommendations. I think that's great. I use a food service today. I love it because I can pick from a variety of options. They provide a wide variety, and it doesn't require me to do a lot on my end to prepare it. And it ranges from very healthy to very unique foods and different types of diets and things like that. So I'm trying some different things out, and it has a lot of flexibility. But what I would really love is if the system actually knew my needs and preferences. I wish it wouldn't recommend mushroom-based dishes. When it's coming up the week, it's automatically, didn't make them available for me to select, because I'm not going to select them. Hey, for all you mushroom eaters out there, awesome. My whole family, they love it. It's great. For some reason, I don't like it, and I've tried fried. I've tried them in tuna casserole. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just, for me, I just can't do it. But this personalization based on preferences and nutritional needs, I think it's really important. We learn about just, how we aren't giving our body the nutrition we really need because of our food options and stuff like that. So having an AI help us with that, I think would be great. And so healthy meal suggestions based on analysis. AI suggests healthy meal options that align with dietary goals and preferences. So, and this is that whole thing that people talk about, is that getting healthy is a lifestyle. It is not a sprint you do at the beginning of the year because it's, part of your New Year's resolution, or whatever, but really a change in your life. So I could see how AI could really help with that. And I could see it also being something that, acknowledges, hey, I am going to cheat this weekend and I'm going to have, lots of sweets or something like that. And augment that with, some different behavior, or some people like to drink alcohol and what that impact has. So I think it's going to be interesting. I mean, there's been a lot of like food logging apps over the years that I think help a lot of people. I've never gotten into that, and maybe that's where, just like a blind spot for me. But the idea of having an AI help you plan your meal options better, I'm definitely going to do that. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leverage AI to look at my selections and look at my history and look at my selections and maybe make some recommendations, because the data I have on my food delivery service is great. They don't have any integrated system that really promotes recommendations. They categorize things, keto and protein and, and different things, anyway, smart kitchen appliances. So the smart kitchen has been like a thing for so long. So smart kitchen appliances prepare the suggested meal, ensuring efficiency, adherence to nutritional goals. So now, and this is the whole thing about like, what is a smart kitchen? Is it a robot in your kitchen that, cuts your carrots and cooks your eggs and all that? Do you just have, like food delivered that is easy to prepare, that you've got like a smart oven, or that you could just put it in and it can adjust to what you're cooking and stuff. Like I know there were some ovens that were really popular for a while that aren't available, that you would buy meals and the oven would recognize the contents of the meal and be able to cook it. So you have to think about it, which is really pretty cool. And I recently played with Google AI Studio, and I was using it and this is going to sound totally dorky, but like I was using it to help me make toast. So I launched it on my phone. I was streaming my camera, and I was having it help me make toast. I was being a dork about it. I like changed all the dials on my toaster, and I put out like a lot of like non-toast topping kind of things, and had it just help me navigate my purposeful, silly idiocy in trying to make toast. And it was magic. Like, and I was telling someone recently, the AI toast was way better than the toast I cook on my own. The freaking AI saw it through the glass and said, "Your toast is done, take it out." And I was like, whoa, I burned my toast a lot, and it saw it through the glass. And I was like, not a timer, nothing. It just saw the toast and said, "Hey, it's ready." And it was the best tasting toast I've ever had, my AI toast. So anyway, so I feel like, there's lots going on with smart kitchens and things like that, lots of ecosystems and stuff like that, but getting this data, and it's going to be interesting to figure out like where people feel comfortable with sharing information, what apps will get information, and how that will be exchanged. So 8 o'clock, smart wardrobe selection and virtual fitting. So this is interesting. Clothes for me have been, one of those things that, okay, so there was some clothes that I used to wear when I was a kid called Garanimals. And what was cool about Garanimals is that you would match, lions and tigers and bears with, the tops to the pants. So I didn't have to think about it. It was super cool because I didn't have to think. I just matched the animals together. And now that I did grow up to an adult that wasn't good at choosing things. So I'd usually buy from a couple limited colors that I could throw them together and they'd work regardless. It was interesting. So personal style, and wardrobe and stuff has been interesting. So an AI outfit selection would be interesting. Looking at your wardrobe to look at helping you select outfits tailored to the weather, personal style, individual events, and simplifying morning routines. I mean, I know some people struggle over choosing the right clothes for an event, for an activity, and having an AI help you knowing what's available to you and helping you pick the right thing, or at least, you know, making the selection less, you know, like, so you're not having to go through. So I think that's really cool. You know, I mean, I would love to just have every piece of clothes just go with every other piece of clothing and you not have to think about it. But that just really reflects my focus on efficiency over style. Not that I want to look like, you know, just a blank slate or whatever, but it's interesting. So I think an AI to help you with that would be great, because sometimes I'm not picking weather oriented or event effective selections. So virtual fitting technology, and this is I find really interesting. You know, when you can use AR to look at furniture, and you can put on glasses and look at different aspects of things in your world, looking at your digital avatar and putting clothes and stuff on them. It's funny, like in Quest, in Meta, in Horizons, looking at my avatar, and I change the clothes every once in a while. When I get something like some fun, cool T-shirt or whatever from going to a concert, or they sell stuff there in VR, which I think is really interesting, and it's amazing. The options. It doesn't feel like they've figured out their costs around certain things, but it's a journey. But anyway, this virtual fitting technology, the system also offers virtual fittings, allowing users to see how outfits will look before wearing them, ensuring confidence in appearance. And I mean, like one of the things I really loved is how Nike used to have that thing where you could measure your foot, and then it would allow you to like pick the right shoe, because it's not just about length, but wideness and things like that in your foot. I have a pretty wide foot. So it's interesting how you can use this technology to get better fitting items, but it's that whole thing too. Like, you shop different companies and their size doesn't match their size. Like I hear that from a lot of people, women and men, that, the sizing across different companies isn't consistent and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting. But anyway, commute and work. So 830 autonomous vehicle commute with productivity features. Now, I have longed for a smart car that I could get into and just go to sleep, play a game, do work, just not have to think about driving. Driving is just, I've never, I guess I was excited about it when I first got to do it because it was a sense of freedom. But I've never enjoyed the experience. It's not something I particularly, enjoy. But turning a drive time into really productive time is really kind of exciting. So enhanced productivity tools. Autonomous vehicles are equipped with advanced productivity tools, allowing passengers to work or engage in leisure activities during the commute. Yep, play video games, watch a movie, do work, think about work, do a conference call, whatever. Time-saving commute. The integration of productivity features in autonomous vehicles maximizes time efficiency, enabling passengers to utilize their commute effectively. And that's huge. Imagine all the time people spend commuting, and if that time was leveraged for the benefit, not just like their benefit, but for whatever collaboration they're doing, with friends or family, with work, everything doesn't have to be about work, but it just feels like it could be a really much better, improved experience, for everybody. Safe travel experience. This is the thing I think is probably the most key about autonomous vehicles. Ensure a safe travel experience, allowing passengers to focus on work or relaxation without stress of driving. Oh my gosh, driving is stressful. People are crazy. And, I remember in high school learning about how car companies would factor in the impact of people dying into their costs and lawsuits and stuff like that. And it made me, I literally was like dumbfounded. Like they planned for this. It just blew my mind, but there's lots of, still issues around safety of autonomous vehicles, but I'm hearing that things are getting better. The technology is getting better. They're getting safer. If you've ever seen the movie Upload on Amazon, I love that TV show. It is a funny, silly, fantastic little TV show, and they talk about autonomous vehicles in there, and it's kind of central to that story a little bit. But anyway, having a safer experience for everyone. And I've even heard that, the impact of safe driving also, and this, is a little sad, but impacts, the donation of, are you an organ donor? And, because car accidents are a place where, people pass, which is horrible. And then, if they're an organ donor, then their organs can be used to help other people. And there was a look at safer travel would reduce organ donation. It would be impactful. So it's one of those things where, like, how can we improve people's experience to be safer driving, but also how can we improve people's living experience so they don't need an organ transplant and things like that. And that becomes less impactful, less a need for it. But I thought it was really interesting that people have looked at this kind of stuff. So 9 a.m. AI-powered virtual office and collaboration tools. So seamless team collaboration. So AI tools facilitate seamless collaboration among team members, ensuring effective communication and workflow. Now that's interesting because it feels like, seamless is not sort of like the experience that I see in most of life. A lot of life feels very friction oriented, and it's always been that way. There are moments of frictionless experiences, but they're more moments. They are not seamless, frictionless, like very lengthy experiences. But AI tools that could help with that to really improve that collaboration, improve that communication, to help help get things done, by helping us do our parts better and orchestrating that. Some of the AIs that are coming out of Microsoft to help with being a project manager, AI project managers, helping orchestrate meetings and projects and things like that. It's kind of exciting. And there were some studies I read a while back that talked about how, they'd done a study where they talked about humans' response to input from an AI versus input from a human, and that they were less resistant to an AI. I was kind of shocked that they, and I think the perception was that the AI wasn't, making decisions, on a personal, level or having any level of bias. So they were able to take it as, with face value and operate that, which I find really interesting. So meeting organization. So AI effectively manages meetings, scheduling, setting reminders to team members for improved time management. Now this is truly great. Setting up a meeting and finding meeting times and all that kind of stuff is just sometimes painful. Sometimes you just cannot find a meeting time available for everyone. And and people that have to schedule meetings, like, oh my gosh, like that's just got to be mind numbing. But when you struggle with those difficult, people and challenges, we've got certain, people go on vacation, people block their calendar, people are busy doing stuff, trying to make things happen. So, but having an AI to help, and having AIs help each other, when an assistant to, an AI assistant to an associate could help, sort of change a schedule for someone to allow for more efficient meetings and scheduling and stuff like that. So I think being able to identify patterns, identify options to, I think it's going to be great. What's going to be interesting is, can people follow the schedules that they have? Because I'm guilty of putting too much on my calendar and not getting everything complete. So having the right amount of time planned for things is still a struggle, so, and then things happen. And this is where I think an AI could be helpful in dealing with all those domino falling events that impact so many things and shift schedules. But maybe it could be much more intelligent and graceful at finding, scheduling, rescheduling, and adapting, but this is where we turn over our control a little bit. And this is something that, some people don't feel comfortable with, and I totally get it. Task management. So with AIs, teams can efficiently manage tasks with reminders and progress tracking, boosting productivity. So this will be interesting. So, and this is that whole, that study that was done that talked about how people were more open to an AI giving them direction than another person, which I was really totally shocked about that because I guess I just haven't seen enough of that personally in the world around me and stuff like that. But if you are identifying your tasks and really, properly managing them and properly identifying them so that AI can help with that. And I think that's one of those things, like in some of the modern like Copilot experiences, having the AI, provide an overview of a meeting and then identify tasks from it, and then has been really kind of mind blowing. If it can actually help with those tasks and then get help the human where it can automate some of those parts of that task, and then the human can do the human component of it to get things done. I think that's very exciting, and I think that's where that that partnership with AI is going to be really effective. You see a lot more people now using more AI paired programming experiences, Google, Microsoft tools, open source stuff, where they are being able to get a lot more done, with these tools, and I find that in a lot of the productivity tools as well. So data-driven insights, that's something we say often, and I do too. AI provides valuable data-driven insights that help teams make informed decisions and improve outcomes. Because I see a lot of just, people making decisions based on what they're aware of. And some people are super aware and know how to have enough experience and perspective to make really great decisions that may not be data-driven, but they're experience-driven, and they work in the culture that they work in. So it's going to be interesting to have, what's been interesting is seeing data-driven insights pop up in those kind of environments, and the impact, because I've seen some people embrace it and some people absolutely ignore it. So it's going to be, this is that all in, all out kind of thing. Are you going to be open to insights about what's happening from AIs and maybe adjust the way you work? So but I feel like if it's giving you better information, if it's helping you get to better outcomes, it should be a no-brainer. But the idea of a human not making the decision, making the decision, they're used to making that decision a little bit more independently, doing it with, and this is like, I feel like good leaders make decisions with the teams and people that they're working on. So adding AI into the mix shouldn't be too disruptive, but I think it will be, just because the nature of it is very different, and then there's, with leaders, there's, ownership, power struggles, ego, things like that you don't have with an AI. So, and that's where I find, maybe the lack of ego and bias and things like that could make, the insights better, but, it doesn't mean that people are going to adapt to it. So it'll be interesting to see those that partner with AI and adapt and those that don't, and who are more successful consistently. It'll be interesting. So 12 p.m., AI managed lunch break with nutritional analysis. And this is that whole thing of, analyzing your foods and nutritious meal recommendations. AI personalizes personal health data to suggest nutritious meal options tailored to individual preferences, just like breakfast. Promoting healthy eating habits, the AI system encourages users to adopt better eating habits by providing personalized nutritional advice, and then personalized health data integration. So the AI integrates personal health data to ensure meal recommendations align with health goals and dietary restrictions. Those things that people are allergic to, like being able to, like you hear people planning a party and they're having people over, and it's like you've got to identify allergies and all these different factors and stuff like that. It's such a more thoughtful process, but having these tools could really make it a much better experience. So afternoon activities. All right, it's 1 p.m., AI-driven project management and task automation. So automation of routine tasks. So AI automates repetitive tasks, saving time and reducing the potential for human error in project management. So, I can remember learning some project management tools and finding the project managing information input into the project management tool to be very time consuming. And it didn't, it was so time consuming, it was impactful, that you couldn't be as involved in the project because you're a project manager, you're high level. So having these AIs act as project managers where they're gathering up information and helping with tasks and planning and, analyzing data and stuff like that, it's really exciting. I mean, I've worked, all the projects I've ever worked on have been primarily human-led projects. And, so many of, the projects I've been on, I'm talking like over all time, they take longer to do. They're not, they're the level of planning. And sometimes, even some of the planning people say, oh yeah, add in a 20%, it's like, well, why are we all adding 20% if, that's just a thing? Why don't we not add the 20%? Because it's just, just deal with that sometimes that things aren't going to go right. So I don't know. Sometimes it's just patterns and behavior and history and experience and stuff like that, we'll see how this evolves. But anyway, enhanced strategic decision making. So with routine tasks automated, teams can allocate more time to strategic planning and decision making. And this is something that I think is really interesting because, some people, there are those that are strategic thinkers. There are those that are allowed to be strategic thinkers. And there's some people that are really good at being strategic thinkers, and those may or may not be the people that have the jobs. But I feel like it is important for you to be a strategic decision maker in your life and in your job and what you control that you are, so if some of your tasks are being automated and you have more time to think about these, where it's not just, like you're so busy in the mundane tasks that you're doing again and again and again that you don't get to think about what's happening, how to make it better and things like that. Integrating your flow that's better for you when your inputs and outputs are better, and things like that. So I don't know. I think it's interesting because sometimes, people just don't see how they're connected to other parts of the process that they're in, they're just like, I have time to do this job and that's all I got time to do. And I get it, that's, but take a step back and looking at what you do and questioning it and things like that and helping, inform it at a higher, more strategic level, I think is important for everyone. Because sometimes, I always kind of focus on, when I focus on my projects, on the people that do the work. They're the ones that know it better. Some leaders, sometimes they just don't know what's really happening in the real world. They have their high level outcomes that are important, the reporting and, understanding the process at high level and stuff. But the people that really do the work are the ones that make it happen. And so many times I see things that just don't meet their needs and they're white knuckling through the process to meet the deadlines that were imposed by something that wasn't really intelligently designed as a process. Anyway, so fostering creativity. So AI tools support creativity by providing insights and freeing up mental resources for innovative thinking. Now, the creative side of AI is interesting because there's lots of issues around creative people, unhappy with AI having used creative content to learn these skills, and are they taking away jobs and things from the creative community? So like for this YouTube channel, would I have hired someone to do thumbnails for my YouTube videos? No, I don't have a budget. I'm not doing that, so I use AI. I've tried lots of different AI tools from Midjourney, to Dolly, Google Imagine. So I've tried lots of different tools, and it's been fun to just kind of play and explore them. But on the creative side, by removing some of the repetitive tasks, and automate some stuff, allowing you to think more freely and providing you insights into it could make your innovative thinking a little bit better. Could it allow some people to just take the back seat and stop being active in the thinking process? It could. People could just leverage the AI and not, really bring their humanity, their creativity, their focus, their purpose, their joy, their happiness, all that into that process. And I could see that being a problem, but that's a problem every day. I mean, whether a human really decides to commit to the work they're doing, whether it's, creative work or technical work or, any kind of work. I mean, you can do it great, and you can give it more of a impactful experience, for you and for the people you're helping people with. So I don't know. I can see AI, and I've found AI to be very helpful with brainstorming and looking at things differently and dealing with barriers to things that I'm seeing and identifying alternative ways to look at stuff. So it definitely, I think, can foster more creativity in individuals. And I found, for me, who I do not consider myself to be very creative, it has allowed me to embrace creativity through partnering with AI, doing things that just would have not gotten done otherwise. So it brings a new level of experience to it, and it's cool to partner with an AI, create some content, text, image, video, audio. It feels really cool for someone that's not creative to begin to partner with AI to create some things, to co-create some things. So anyway, 3 p.m. virtual reality meetings and training sessions. Now, I love virtual reality. AI is, of course, like the newest of the coolest tech things, and I love that too. But before AI was, in my world, 2+ years ago, it was really VR was my primary kind of tech focus, and I love VR. It's awesome. It's amazing. So using VR, enhanced engagement, virtual reality meetings allow participants to engage more fully, leading to better collaboration and communication. Now, VR has been available for people to use in the work world, and it was exciting when it was coming out. A lot of this stuff was kind of coming out during the COVID, and it was interesting that there was some adoption and stuff like that, but but VR is still, I think, still like a little bit niche in a way. In certain aspects, it's still more of a gaming experience, it seems. But there are more high-end experiences that that people do use, HoloLens and stuff like that, in more professional settings. Virtual reality meetings are available. There are tools out there. Microsoft integrates with various tools. Meta provides stuff. So it's definitely, I think, a real possibility. I remember there was a Bill Gates book called The Road Ahead. I remember reading a long time ago, and it had a CD in the back. And in the CD was a video that was showing sort of a future experience, where it was showing like meetings where a woman was like in a proper shirt and business jacket, but then like in her pajamas and slippers. So it was one of those things where she looked all business doing her meeting, but then was able to just go back after the meeting, go back and chill. It was one of those moments where I thought, wow, that is an interesting future. This ecosystem of a world where you can work from anywhere and stuff like that. But anyway, so VR meetings experiences, I think, are a thing, but I don't know how big they are. 3D interaction. So in a 3D virtual environment, users can interact with each other and the content in immersive ways. And this is definitely, I've seen some really cool stuff with this in VR, with, objects and, like putting 3D objects in spaces, planning an event, or, using AR to look at things that aren't physically there. Doing full immersion in VR and stuff like that. So, but interacting with 3D objects and stuff like that is pretty cool. Whether it's a VR full immersive or an AR, knowing your environment, but putting 3D objects in there. So absolutely. And doing that with people. Some people are in VR interacting with you. Some are in AR interacting with you, from the physical space. It's really pretty cool. It's very Inception, anyway, So improved understanding. So virtual reality enhances understanding through immersive experiences, making complex tasks easier to grasp. I mean, this is, I think, true if the experience was designed to help you with that. So yeah, in that sometimes being in an experience, that is well crafted for you to feel immersed in it, can definitely give you a better experience. I mean, seeing some of these amazing museum visiting experiences where you see a woolly mammoth walking, and you see its whole body kind of disappear, where you just see the skeletons and stuff like that, or you see the solar system and you're walking through it, you know, tapping planets out of your way. I mean, those are things I've done that really blow my mind, but those are things I've done like, you know, 7-10 years ago. And, a lot of that has not kind of come into the kind of everyday world. But it can improve, like these experiences can build like new knowledge and stuff. I've seen some really cool experiences talking about, just different, like, the experience of being, someone from another country and dealing with, leaving your home due to war and crisis, experiences that, put you on the space station, experiences that put you at a diner across from people that you may not have ever, talked to before, and experiencing history and perspective that you just don't have personally. So it definitely can improve understanding. And I think that AI inside of VR is going to supercharge, like AI is going to supercharge everything it touches. I think in the world of VR and anything digital, AI will just be a fast mover into evolving that experience. So 5 p.m. AI-assisted data analysis and report generation. So time-saving automation. AI technology automates data analysis, significantly reducing the time needed for report generation at the end of the workday. So, in that AI is great at data analysis and, can help with, a lot of reporting, because, you do a lot of tasks, you need to report status and things like that. And having these tools, we're building a lot of these tools manually that report on the status of a lot of things. But they're targeted and focused. Imagine an AI be able to look more broadly at what's happening and looking at other sets of data and stuff and experiences that it can analyze to provide perspective and then give you valuable insights. So AI provides critical insights from data that help stakeholders make informed decisions quickly and effectively. So the AI giving you that context that maybe you don't have. You sit in an office far away from where people really do stuff, so you don't have enough of that insight, but you through AI are able to get some of that more deeper insight and seeing the signal from the noise. That's something I think is really important. There's tons of data. Data's reporting is done in a lot of interesting and relevant ways, but also I feel like sometimes the reports don't really meaningfully show what people are really looking for, or they don't show deeply enough. They give you like a high level view. So evening leisure and home management. So 6 p.m. smart home environment adjustment and relaxation suggestions. So AI driven environment control. So AI technology automatically adjusts your home's lighting, temperature for optimal comfort upon arrival. I'm a big fan of the Google Home environment. I've used a lot of the Nest stuff for years. I love the Nest thermostat, and I love how it automatically adjusts. So I have to think about it. I love how it knows when you're home, it knows when you're away, it adapts your temperature to not waste energy, but provide comfortable experience. So the smart home creates a relaxing atmosphere by adjusting ambiance, enhancing your overall comfort after a long day. Closing the blinds or lowering the lights, or it's getting later in the day. Relaxation technique suggestions based on your daily stress levels. The AI suggests personalized relaxation techniques to help you unwind. And I find it really interesting that AIs are able to in the voice conversations identify stress and different emotional behaviors that humans have, so they can understand the context of that emotion when you're so frustrated and you're talking to an AI about something and it's not understanding. I mean, have you ever talked to one of these tools and just been like, no, that's not what I was asking you. No, that's not the information I wanted. No, I don't want to bring up my smartphone. I want you to give me the answer. It's been interesting how a lot of these assistants that we've had for a long time have been amazing. Some more than others, but this new level of AI is just, next level. So 7 p.m. AI curated entertainment and media consumption. Personalized entertainment. AI analyzes your preferences to create tailored entertainment experience, ensuring you enjoy every moment. Now, I find that interesting, sharing your taste with an AI. Like we already get AI is already, like, narrow is already in different systems, like giving you recommendations for movies and TV and music and things like that. So we've had that, but imagine it being even more intelligent and aligned with your preferences, but also aware of, you had a rough day, you had, maybe like a really terrible day, and it can acknowledge that and help with recommending something that can get your mind off things and stuff like that, and knows what really helps you get your mind off things. Like what gets my mind off a bad day and what gets, your mind off a bad day could be completely different, and likely is. But so optimized media consumption. So with AI's help, media consumption is streamlined, making it easier to discover new content that aligns with your taste. So yeah, I've talked for many years about how we all live in our own bubble. We lack a lot of common, experiences sometimes that, that allow us to drift from each other and share, have less of that shared experience, shared understanding. But and I think AI could optimize that, but maybe help rebuild the connection in some ways that we don't have, and I feel like it's one of those things where it's tailoring itself to you, but you still have choices. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to force you to watch every season of, I don't know, The Big Bang Theory, which I would love, but you may totally not love it. Anyway, enjoyable evening. So the ultimate goal of AI curated entertainment is to enhance your evening, providing a delightful mix of movies and music. So, I mean, we're so overwhelmed with streams and services and content and doom scrolling and feeds and all that. I mean, it's a lot. There's so much coming at you. Imagine, an AI really helping you. Genuine things that you're really curious about. Maybe you'll watch that documentary that you've talked about with your friends like for years, but or recommendations for books and stuff that you just never would have considered, but really are something you would enjoy, that isn't just a company pitching you to buy this because they're trying to maximize profits, but something that's really curated to your needs and experiences and the evening moment. So 9 p.m. AI monitored fitness and wellness routines. I find this interesting. So your fitness, I don't typically do my fitness at 9 p.m. I try to do my fitness either early in the morning or right in the afternoon. So early afternoon or, early evening. So anyway, but personalized fitness routines, AI creates personalized fitness routines tailored to your individual health goals, enhancing overall wellness before bedtime. And this is just like, learning. AI is going to teach you whatever you want in a way that you want at the level you want, that's meaningful to you, and help you validate that and adjust on the fly to your needs. Doing that for fitness is another thing. I'm a big fan of Apple Fitness Plus. I love it. It's a lot of different fitness options I'd never tried before, and I enjoy it. I enjoy the trainers. I enjoy the experience. I enjoy the metrics that's capturing. I got to close those rings every day, but I find that really exciting. So progress tracking. AI monitors users' progress in real time, providing insights and encouragement to stay on track with fitness goals. And I do love my Apple Watch nudging me to make sure that I'm not being sedentary for too long, because I will just sit at a computer screen doing computer things. So it's good when it taps me and say, hey, stand up. Hey, get a drink, drink some water, just wake up. You can't just be sitting all the time. But anyway, so suggestions for improvement. AI suggests adjustments in routines based on performance data to optimize health and enhance effectiveness. So yeah, as you're improving or not improving, giving you suggestions, maybe adjusting your, different choices for different types of fitness or routines and things like that. Maybe saying, hey, you really aren't a morning workout person. You really should do this in the afternoon when you're done with work or something like that, or do it on lunch break or something like that. So anyway, but giving you real suggestions. It's, there's all this knowledge locked up in humans in different ways, and trainers for fitness and doctors for healthcare and all this kind of stuff. And some of that information can be more accessible, but yet applied to your personal needs and stuff like that. Now, of course, healthcare, that should all be discussed with your doctor and all that fun stuff, so not advocating for AI as a doctor, but I do advocate for AI as helping, assisting doctors in, lots of sophisticated, interesting ways, and a lot of this health data that's captured, that you could share with your doctor and make better decisions. So nighttime and sleep. So we return to nighttime and sleep. So 10 p.m. AI-driven sleep preparation, relaxation techniques. I do not like going to sleep. I've never have since I was a kid. I fight sleep. It just has to take over. And, I don't just glide into it, which is not good. But anyway, guided sleep rituals. So AI assists users in establishing sleep preparation rituals to promote relaxation and a restful transition into sleep. That sounds amazing. In fact, I will talk to my AIs tonight about what are some of those. Can we try some of those? Let's do that. Relaxation techniques. Apple Fitness Plus has got some great meditation tools and things like that, which I have used, after workouts and stuff. But mindfulness is something I've struggled with. But trying out different things is important. What didn't work yesterday could work tomorrow, and what something you've never knew about that you're just learning could be the magic, that you need to get to the next level. So using AI, users can engage in various relaxation techniques that help calm the mind and body before sleep. Very important to get that sleep. And then bedtime stories. AI offers soothing bedtime stories that enhance the wind down process and ease users into a peaceful slumber. Now I have used AI to do bedtime stories, but I have to say I run out of tokens before I go to sleep. So I've yet to have an AI talk me to sleep. I will listen to like audiobooks that'll put me to sleep, put them on a timer so they, and that has been kind of useful to kind of be told a story as you go to bed. So that could be interesting, but it'd be interesting to see if an AI could tell some story that you need in that moment. You could ask for. I mean, it's just like being a little kid. Tell me a story about pandas, playing at the zoo or something. Anyway, 11 p.m. smart sleep tracking and health insights. So sleep pattern monitoring. Smart tracking systems continuously monitoring your sleep patterns, providing valuable data on sleep quality and duration. Health insights. The data collected helps provide insights that can promote better sleep health and overall well-being. In restorative sleep, utilizing insights from smart tracking, individuals can make adjustments for a more restorative night's sleep. I mean, this is, kind of like we've got tools that collect data on us today. Are we using them? Is it impacting us? Is it making things better? I've used some things around sleep. Like I said, sleep, not my favorite thing to do. Throughout the night, continuous health monitoring and adjustment. AI health monitoring, AI technology continuously tracks health metrics throughout the night, ensuring a comprehensive understanding of sleep patterns. Did you toss and turn? Did you wake up in the middle of the night multiple times? Different kind of behaviors that you need to be aware of. Real-time adjustments. So the system makes real-time adjustments to environmental conditions based on monitored health metrics to promote better sleep quality. I mean, I've heard that having your temperature lower a little bit when you sleep really is good. I've tried to factor that into my Nest thermostat to do that kind of stuff. But it'd be nice for it to acknowledge when I fall asleep, kind of know at the stage I'm sleeping in, and adjust the temperature to help then that it's not just on a timer based thing and it's more on a reaction to what's really going on. So it's going to be interesting to see that adaptation, So AI in daily routines, advanced AI seamlessly integrates into our daily routines, enhancing convenience and efficiency from morning to night. Health promotion, AI technologies actively promote health and wellness, providing personalized insights and recommendations for healthy lifestyle and optimized productivity. So AI optimizes productivity through intelligent automation and personalized tools, reshaping how we work and achieve goals. I love this concept of AI helping me, have better experiences, healthier experiences, more productive experiences, happier experiences. That'd be great. But I think it'll be interesting. It's always, what does that look like? How's that work? And I found that in the, in the mini events that kind of replicate this, that do this in little technical moments of engagement with a smartwatch or a thermostat or an AI assistant that monitors your sleep. I've seen this happening, but having this integrated across your whole life so that you can optimize. And that's the thing too, is an optimized life a better life? I don't know. Because we're such unique, context-oriented creatures where life happens and things change and it's dynamic. We don't control a lot of things that happens in our life. So, so is this going to improve things? Is this a transition? Is this something that's even possible? Is this, going to be something that, like, we live in little moments of it, and the moments kind of get a little bit longer and maybe stitched together in places, and things kind of, come together through different systems and tools and experiences that, you feel comfortable, really promotes health, productivity, and overall happiness. I could see that happening, and it would be an adjustment. And it'll be interesting to see, generationally, as people, as AI becomes more embedded and more integrated into our tools, and and hopefully becomes a better experience, more trusted and more helpful. It will evolve just like we did, but it will evolve faster. So, but that's kind of exciting because it's going to help us, and I think that's very important. So, anyway, thank you if you got this far. Whoa, that's shocking. I thank you, and it was just really fun to think about what this could look like in the future, and what this would take, level of trust, level of technology, level of ecosystem, and human trust and human engagement and flexibility. So it'll be interesting. I'm seeing glimmers of it. I've experienced glimmers of it, and so we'll all experience it together. All right, see you in the next video.